John Paul II said that Christ is a lover and he does not love in half measures. And I think that was really the foundation for my vocation. I was just responding to that great love. He didn't see this massive humanity. You felt that he was looking at you in a personal and intimate way. John Paul II said, as a young priest, I learned to love human love. This has been one of the fundamental themes of my priesthood. He was just such an instrument of the Holy Spirit. That was his gift. Hi, I'm Sister Maximilian Marie with the Dominican Sisters of Mary, Mother of the Eucharist. And I feel so privileged to be here today at the National Shrine of John Paul II, to be here on pilgrimage, to have a little bit of leisure to take it all in. I love this quote. As a young priest, I learned to love human love. This has been one of the fundamental themes of my priesthood. I think that's so true. And we see the fruit of that in all of his works, but especially Theology of the Body. This is great. Avid skier, hiker, kayaker, I love it. Being from the mountains myself, partial to him in that way. I just love that he was such an outdoorsman and always just taking groups of young people out to experience God in nature and the leisure of friendship. And that being a perfect classroom to drawing young people to God. I developed a particular devotion to St. John Paul II, first and foremost through the World Youth Days. Those personal encounters with John Paul II. And just the fact that he wanted to be with us. You know, he wanted to hang out with you know, these crazy young people. Had all this. This is what we lit our candles with on the vigil.
Era stata così forte che tutti avevano bisogno.
So you were just packed in the piazza and then all back down through the road, probably hanging off of a pillar here somewhere. The largest pilgrimage in the history of Europe. Yeah, they didn't know what hit them, I don't think. If you are what you should be, you will set the whole world ablaze. Just be who God created you to be. This is beautiful. So he gave us so many saints and blesseds to hold up as examples for the universal call to holiness. St. Maximilian Kolbe, St. Lorenzo Ruiz, so many more all listed here. It's a great, great room. When I started reading the letter to women and how he spoke about the feminine genius, it just all made so much sense. He just brought that to life and brought such deep understanding to the role of women in the church, in our culture, was something that I was just always so grateful for. He just wrote so beautifully and spoke so beautifully of Mary. If Jesus is life, Mary is the mother of life. If Jesus is hope, Mary is the mother of hope. If Jesus is peace, Mary is the mother of peace, mother of the Prince of Peace. There's a special grace that comes from going on a pilgrimage. You're setting yourself apart to have an encounter with the living person, Jesus Christ. And it's a very physical way to encounter God. The outcome is a spiritual joy. John Paul II was a pilgrim in every sense of the word. And I think as you walk through the shrine, you see he, at a very young age, must have realized we're all just travelers in this life. It kind of has that World Youth Day spirit where you come and you see other people excited about Jesus Christ, about the faith, you know, through the instrument of this holy man. I would encourage anyone and everyone to come to the shrine. Encountering all of the beautiful artifacts and spaces and times for prayer was just stunning. To be before the relic of Pope St. John Paul II, a vial of his blood, makes it a special pilgrimage. You cannot come here and not encounter the person that he was, and more importantly, the person that he's always pointing us to, Jesus Christ.